Welcome to the Star Monroe Show and welcome to August. We are officially in flaunt season. My brand new program is peeking her dangerous head around the corner because we start on the 6th of September. And this is where you court your desires, outsmart any sneaky patterns and conditioning that keep you playing small in life, business, and money, and rewire your neural pathways using your dark feminine energy so you can take motherfucking center stage of your own life without an ounce of apology. If you're not already on the wait list, then get yourself on there today because everyone on that wait list gets access to VIP, aka an amazing price on the program, which will happen around the middle to the end of this month. So keep an eye out on your emails, and the wait list is in the show notes. It's the first thing in the show notes. And I'm so excited for this program to run. Oh, I'm so excited. I built it out the other day and I'm like, oh my God, lives are going to change. Money is going to be pouring in. Women are going to be showing up in their dangerous audacity. Yes, come on. So excited. I'm going to segue quick away from there because I do get very excited. Another thing that's happening this August, I'm going to take a sweet moment with this, is my son. Oh, I'm going to cry. He is going to be 27 this month. Wow, 27. And I'm all geared up to take a trip back to the UK this month as well. So I'm aiming to be there soon. And I can't wait to get out of the heat in Tampa because I literally do not even go outside. It's ridiculous, especially towards the end of the week. I have my hair blown out. And I know that once my hair's blown out, we are staying indoors and we're filming content because once I step into Monday, Tuesday, and I'm back in the gym and I've started up Aikido, I look like a wild woman, which I am A-okay with. And yet, the more I am creating this life here in Tampa, the more there are parts of me that I am keeping private just for me. And I really like that. And actually, I'm just going to see if I can put a little pin in that and see if I can circle back to it. I'm not going to promise I will, but I'm going to see if I can circle back into it in today's episode, which is entitled, Who Does She Think She Is? So let's think about where I'm going with this. I was writing earlier and I've been contemplating and putting my method together because my body of work has shifted over the last couple of years. And one thing that I've been doing for 15 years, I can't believe it's 15 years, but it is. I've been showing up online. And I've been showing up online as audaciously myself. And it's taught me a lot, a hell of a lot about human behavior. And there's a lesson in here that I want to unpack with you, especially as women moving through our 40s and 50s. You see that as I've shown up online, I've learned that there are people who will love bomb me, people who will absolutely detest me, people who are inspired and do nothing else, just are inspired, people who are offended, these are the ones that I want to zero in on, people who are galvanized through my wisdom to make radical changes with their lives, their money, their businesses. And of course, there are people that are just fucking idiots. And here's a highlighted note for myself and for you to never never enter the realm of the fucking idiots that are out there. It's not worth it. I've tried. And I'm an observer. So I don't know whether you know that I'm a projector. I don't know if you know about human design. It's how we're energetically made up. I spent a couple of years, a while back, researching the fuck out of it, as I do when I like something. And I researched all about human design. I'm a projector 3/6. I have to safeguard my energy. And one of the skills that I have is that I will learn many, many, many different philosophies and methods over the years, and I will use all that information to create my own, which I have done over and over and over again and transform not only my lives, but many, many other women's lives too across the globe. So I'm an observer, and I've watched people online that engage with these fucking idiots, these fucking morons, and 10 out of 10 times it will be because it will push their stuff through the algorithm, because the more comments we get on our stuff, it just shows the algorithm that, oh, people are interested in this. So that's the only ever reason that you would toy with the idiots. And I would be very discerning with that, because it's a very energy time sucking process as well. So you've got to be very detached from it. And I suppose if you look at it from, I'm going to push myself up through the algorithms, then yeah, you can do it and you've got the bandwidth. So throughout this time that I've been showing up online as a leader, I've shown up in many different reiterations of me. And this is why I love getting older, because the older I get, the more I know myself. And I know that I'm not just one part of myself, but I am a cornucopia of all parts and all the previous parts of me. It's really important as we move into our authentic, aligned version of ourselves, because that is the fucking version that's going to live on our highest timeline. That is the version that's going to live in our highest energetic motherfucking frequency. That I lost my train of thought now. Fuck. Where was I going with that? It's very important that we are aligned with that we do not disregard any younger previous version of ourselves. We have to collect all those versions and take really good care of them. Because there's a quote by Joe Didi, and I know I've used it before: otherwise they will come knocking at 4 a.m. in the morning going, hey, you're not taking any notice of me, I'm going to cause fucking havoc in your life. I've bastardized her quote, but you get the gist. So I've shown up in lots of different facets of myself, vulnerable, and especially, more recently when I was in recovery from my facelift, I showed up throughout an expanse of 3 months, maybe 4 months, very vulnerably. I was going through a lot of healing, both internally from the facelift, externally from the facelift, but also a lot of healing as well around my previous wounds, because, we don't just get to heal and move on. We are here to forever expand and evolve, and it's a spiral. And what I know to be true, so if I pull in another quote, follow what lights you up, you will not be led astray. It's the becoming of who we are to make whatever lights us up happen. It's the becoming. That's the process. That's the expansion. Then as we make whatever we wanted happen, our desires, our reality, I've learned this. You've got to do this. We have to integrate, pause, stop fucking rushing into the next thing, integrate this new level, this new realm that we've ascended into, so it can really become us. And then probably in that integration, there'll be a new level of healing. So we will be looking at our past, our wounds. Some things will come up, because as we ascend, as we process, as we become these different versions of ourselves, and we're moving towards our highest timeline, our highest energetic frequency, more parts of us feel safe to come up, to be greeted. Wow, I didn't even know I was going to go down this route. so soon in this podcast, but here I am. And this is, here I am. And this is the alchemy of our shadows. This is the alchemy of our emotions. This is the shadow work that I love, that I just relish in, because it really is the transmuting of this stuff that's inside us, that when we're presented with it, most people don't even fucking notice it comes up. But for me, I'm like, oh God, yeah, this is great. I get to create a different relationship with this part. I get to be the divine mother and the divine father to this part that it never got from my actual mother and father. There's no blame there to my mother and father. They did what they could with the resources they had. And now I'm an adult. I have to create the environment, the safe, stable, grounded environment where all my parts live and are happy, and they can have tea and cake around the big table of my heart, and they can jump around and they can scream and they can shout and they can have tantrums. And I'm like, you know what? I love you all. I love you all so very, very much. I love you, and you're so welcome here. This is alignment. This is authenticity. So in all of that, I've shown up online vulnerable. I've shown up really fucking powerful. I've shown up soft. I've shown up snarky and defensive. I've shown up really argumentative. I've shown up messy. I've shown up very fucking polished. I've shown up scripted. I've shown up raw, light-hearted, playful, serious, and there's fucking shitloads of other versions of me as well. And what I know to be true now is not one version is me. I am all these versions. And yet, as I strut ahead in this new business iteration of myself, this new life of myself, I am coming back to the part that there are parts of me that I do not show publicly. There are parts of my life that I do not reveal. And because over my life of showing up, I have overshared. I have shared everything because I thought that was a way that I find my clients. It's not. It's not. I'm going to tell you that right now. So whatever you're sharing, you will attract on that energetic frequency. So if you're attracting lots of victim mindset, people who don't want to help themselves, that's what you're putting out there. And no shade, I've done all this. I've been through all of this, so I completely understand. And then I'm going to just do a little plug here into my private podcast, which is called After Hours. Again, I'll put that in the show notes for you. That is where I do share more privately about what's going on in my life behind the scenes of my business. And it's a really good place for you to frolic in. It's $7 a month to understand how my brain works. Because if you're going to come into Flaunt, and then if you're going to come into my bigger program, Hunger, which actually I made a decision to put off until the beginning of next year, you want to understand how my brain works. You want to see a resonance because, well, obviously, if there's not a resonance, you wouldn't be fucking listening to me, would you? So the resonance is always there, and then there's the invitation. If you want to go deeper into my life, and you're nosy, you want to know what I get up to behind the scenes, then After Hours is all for you. That's for you. And what did I do today? I did it slightly differently. I recorded a video instead of doing a podcast, so you can watch me, which then leads me on to, I did promise myself that I was going to do a YouTube video as well today. Anyway, that's my problem, not yours. I'll put that to one side. So I've shown up in all these different facets, and what I'm learning is how I do want to show up online and what feeds my energetic frequency. And here's the bottom line to all of this is what I've learned as a leader is that if I'm trying to please all the people, which is I have tried, sorry, I'm shouting into the mic. I have tried to please all the people. I lose my fire and I get lost in the noise of the busy online world, because when you're trying to please all the people, what you do is you dumb down who you really are, your edge, because you've got an edge, I've got an edge, and you become vanilla. You become a cookie cutter version of every other motherfucker out there. And I don't know if you want to scroll just now while you're listening to me. I mean, hopefully you're not driving, but if you want to scroll on Instagram, you will see. I mean, well, everyone looks the fucking same. What's all that about? Everyone looks the same. Everyone's saying the same thing. Well, everyone's using AI. That's that one thing. Again, been there, used AI, completely lost myself, lost my creativity because I relied on AI. I'm no longer using AI for my creativity. I need to start a recovery addicts meeting for people who have extracted themselves from AI. I'm there leading the charge. If I do use AI to help me organize my thoughts. But again, AI's got I don't know, it's got a mind of its own, and I can see it really vanillarizing my ideas. I'm like, no, you've got to go back to the drawing board. And my creativity, my fire happens when I use pencils. I don't know if I've told you about my favorite pencils. They're called Blackwing. They're the most delicious pencils ever. I get the white ones. I use pencil and paper, and I just write. If you want to see my desk right now, it is covered in my scribbles. That's how I find my creativity. So, back on track. I'm not here to lose my motherfucking fire, because my fire is who I am and your fire is who you are. So the other thing I want to put a side note in before I go anywhere else is, over the years, again, these are learnings from me becoming older, from me becoming more conscious, from me being awake at the wheel of my life. I know that sometimes my fire is just a soft ember. And I would say last year, my fire was a soft ember. And to come into this beginning of the year when I was recovering from my facelift, my fire was a soft ember. And that is the time for me to hibernate away and take really good care of myself. It's like winter. It's like an inner winter. And if I try to force summer onto winter, oh my God, the results are disastrous. Disastrous. And the other times, my fire will move all the way into summer and become a raging motherfucking inferno. And I feel like I'm coming, well, I am. I'm coming out of my winter. I want to cry. Do you know why I want to cry? I want to cry because I'm recognizing myself. Because as I'm spending the time talking to you, I'm actually recognizing my process, which then gives you the opportunity to recognize your process. So we all grow and expand together. So I'm coming out of my winter. I feel like I'm in spring. I'm in spring. So spring is a very important time. And it's a time where I need to really take tender, loving care of the seeds that I've sown and practice patience. Jesus, like, I honestly think that's the ultimate life skill, patience. Patience underpins compassion and grace. And compassion and grace is the epitome of divine feminine. Divine feminine, I'm going off tracks here, but divine feminine isn't women fucking floating around in a fucking floaty motherfucking robe or skirts or whatever they want to fucking float around in. It is the maturity to move through life with grace and compassion. That is divine fucking feminine. That's power, my friend. That is power. Where was I? So, yes, so I was talking about my fire. So we're in the spring. And so I know I'm coming up into summer. So summer is coming. It is inevitable that summer is coming. And so my job is to take really good care of myself as I'm navigating summer, because I have had many reiterations of myself and my business online. When it's summer, my fire is a raging motherfucking inferno. And that is the time for me to show up audaciously, dangerously audaciously, and share my wisdom with the world. And whenever I do, and it's happening already, people will say, who the fuck does she think she is. And that's when I know I'm on the right motherfucking track, because I'm pissing people off. You are never going to get anywhere in life if you're trying. Oh, damn it. I'm running ahead because I get too excited. You're never going to get anywhere in life when you're vanilla, when you're trying to please all the motherfucking people. So this is why I want to tie this into getting older. First of all, let's talk about the word old and older. It's really important because I sit with that. Oh, I roll my eyes and tut loudly when I sit with a woman and I say, like, I'm old, I'm older. And whoever I'm sitting next to, bear in mind I don't speak to that many people, but if I'm talking to a woman who is older than me or the same age, she will go, we're not old. I'm not old. And I'm like, oh, you are drinking the fucking Kool-Aid that old is bad, that you've drunk the Kool-Aid, a perception around old. Now, how the fuck are you going to navigate that? Because old is where we're going. We are going to get older. Death is our ultimate destination. So for me, what I do with any word that gives me a sting, a boo-boo, an ouchie, where I get defensive, when my hackles rise, I'm like, oh shit, I need to look into that word. I need to look into that word and unpack. And I literally feel like a visual right now. I'm taking the word and it's like a 3D word of old, and I'm taking the lid off it and I'm rummaging around inside and I'm looking for all the conditioning, all the stuff that from my generational lineage, everything and anything that has made me think that old is terrible, that old is something to be disgusted with, because that's the kind of vibe I get when I speak to women. Oh, old, ugh, ugh. And so I'm rummaging around in my 3D box of old. So rummage, and I'm pulling it all out. And once I've pulled it all out and taken a look at it, you have to do this work, by the way. Like, you can't just listen to me and go, oh, yeah, that's a great idea, Star. Yeah. Or dismiss this and go, oh, well, I'm not doing that because I'm not old. No, we are getting older. It's like a fact of life. And so it's like we have to do this work. So you rummage. You put it all out and you write it down. You go, well, where did that come from? And do I want to carry this on? And so I kind of say about this is generational lineage. Well, how do I want to take the word old on? How do I want to take the word older on into my life? And so once you've rummaged around and cleared out any attachments to old, and you can do this with any word. You can do this with the word fat. Fat is brilliant. Do it with fat as well. I'm trying to think what else you can do it with. Slut, whore, selfish. I'm trying to think of all the words I've been called over my life. Mean, manipulative. What did my mum used to call me? I think selfish. She used to call me selfish. Mean. I think I've done enough examples. But anyway, you do this with all these words, any words that give you I'm not that. And actually, I'm going to sidestep for a minute because I'm watching Real Housewives of Orange County. Oh my God, it's like a shit show. Do they purposely hire idiots to go on? Yes, they do. And I'm like, these women think they're emotionally aware. They're not. They do have a level. They're not, though. Well, I suppose they are, actually. Let me sit on that paradox. Let me just come off that. No, they are. But again, I'm like, I think they're doing it a lot for the views, for the entertainment. So maybe, I'll give them grace on that. But I was watching Vicky because she came back for the 20th anniversary version, episode, edition of any other words you want to add in there, Star, of Real Housewives of Orange County. And someone said that she's a Debbie Downer. Oh my God. It's episode 3 of series 20. Watch her reaction to someone saying she's a Debbie Downer. It was visceral. She did not like it. She defended it. She got defensive. She's still going on about it in the clips from episode 4. That is a dismissed and disowned part of herself that needs to be brought out from the shadows and integrated into her version of herself as she is right here, right now. If she is to be more conscious and awake, and I always think you want to be more conscious and awake because we need more women that are conscious and awake and aligned and authentic, because we need those women to be fucking earning the money, leading the way, and shifting the trajectory of what it means to be a woman as we're moving through this flipping spinning globe in the universe. So all the time, this will go back to Vicky because it was really visceral. She disowns that part. She will be forever defending it. And the thing is that there are times in our lives we are Debbie Downers. And the more we can embrace these parts within us and create a different relationship with us, I'm not saying that you have to like it, but you do need to create a different relationship with it. The more that we can be compassionate and offer grace to others in our lives. Oh my God, what was I saying about divine feminine? What? And then this is how we send ripples out into the world. This is how we communicate. This is how we have deeper connections, intimacy. If we can't have intimacy with another, if we're not intimate with ourselves. So coming back to the word old, we've taken everything out the 3D box. It's all out, all on the floor. And it's empty. It's neutral now. And now you add in things that you want to align with old. So for me, old is, there's reverence there for being old because we've gone through things. Old is wisdom. Old is knowledge. Old is compassion. Old is maturity. Old is, wow, a sensualness because I'm more present in the world, because I'm using me as the reflection here. And also, if this is a challenge for you, then this is what you would do. You would look to older female iconic role models. So for me, it's always been Joan Collins, Alexis in Dynasty, Diana von Furstenberg, Sophia Loren. And I'm like, these women, they fucking just own who they are. Or Christine Borowski in The Good Fight, The Good Wife. They have a way of communicating. They hold themselves with emotional elegance. They know themselves. They know what they want. They live a life where they're fully themselves. They have some mystery to themselves. So I'm like, this is what I make meaning to old. And old for me is like, it has fun. I've clawed my fucking way to be 55. I've clawed my way out of destructions, addictions, eating disorders, self-loathing, toxic relationships, bankruptcy, being a shitty mum, to learning how to be a good mother. Like, fuck. Like, I am so grateful and appreciative for being old. And I'm really looking forward to getting older. And there's a reverence in the fact that I know I'm getting older, and that means I have to take extra special care of myself. I'm a vintage model. Things don't work so well since my knees when I'm in Aikido last week and rolling around. I was like, interesting. So I have to take good care of myself, and I can't dismiss parts of me. Also, old means sovereignty, means autonomy, means authority over me and my choices. I don't have to explain them to anybody else. See? Old. It's fucking awesome. Come on over to the dark side. It's so much fucking better over here. So you have to do this. Because the Kool-Aid, and like, oh my God, in America, this Kool-Aid is like, it's coming through the fucking AC. It's coming through the system. It's literally by osmosis that there is a narrative, especially as women get older, that we have to of who we should be. So it's telling us who we should be, how we should act, what we should wear, and what is available for us. And so you've got to do the active work to disrupt this so you can say fuck that. So when I say, and I do say fuck that, but I've done the work to back that fuck that up. Because otherwise, what you're doing is you're fighting an ingrained belief within you that and I'm using old, that as an example, but if you think old is bad or old is disgusting, you're fighting an ingrained belief. And so you need to go in and rewire yourself. And I've just explained the whole fucking process on how you do that. And in the process of you doing that, here's what happens. You extract yourself from the bullshit that manipulates women into thinking we can't trust ourselves. Because that's what our westernized capitalistic society wants. I'm sure it's just not women, it's men as well. It is, it's all human beings. You know, the systems are set up for people not to trust themselves. And here's an observation on America. I truly believe industries, capitalism treats adults in this country like children and treats adults like children, and adults let them. Like everywhere I look, I'm like, it's like everyone's speaking to them like they're children, like, oh, you've got to do this and be careful and mind that, and you've got to take this pill, otherwise this is going to happen. Do you know what happens then? The fear of fucking God enters your system. The fear of fucking God enters your system, and that's the last thing. You cannot live a life from where the fears live. You can't live a life from where the fears live. Oh my God. Because that is what's going to keep you small and keep you contracted. And you're here, your natural habitat, your natural version of yourself is here to expand. Give me a second, I just need some water. So yes, it's really important that you extract yourself from the bullshit. And there's a story here as well. I was working with a client a couple of months back. She went to Mexico, and something happened. I can't remember quite what it was, but she said, I can't get in an Uber because I'm worried about, her friend said, because of sex trafficking. Honestly, like I get it, like shit happens in the world, and I'm not disregarding sex trafficking as shit happens in the world, but like the world is a fucking gnarly place. I get it. But I honestly believe that's from living in America and all the bullshit that you get peddled and you listen to the news. Because when I was in Mexico, I don't think twice about stepping into an Uber, calling a cab, or cycling around the roads. I don't live like that. And I honestly believe that's enabled me to move from the UK to living in Turkey on my own, to starting again in Tampa on my own, to flying off to Mexico a couple of weeks ago and cycling around Tulum. I mean, I didn't spend the 2 weeks cycling around, but I was definitely cycling. But I question that fear-based narrative. And I'm like, no, I'm not going to listen to it. That's why I don't listen to the news. So you've got to do this work because you've got to extract yourself from it, because everything is manipulating for human beings not to trust themselves. And when you don't trust yourself, you're on the back hoof. You don't have autonomy, and everyone else is leading your life. Now, over the years, what I've had to do is learn to lead my own life, trust my own decisions. Again, I'm skipping ahead. There's something I want to tell you here about that. Command my own finances. Whoa, that's been a big one. I'm going to be talking about money as I roll out into this new iteration of my business. I'm going to be talking about money more. Money is really important to me. Money gives me more choices. And I've had no money, and I've had a lot of money, and I would choose a lot of money over no money any day. And I've also had to own my true audacity, like my rock solid self-belief in myself before anyone else would ever follow me. And I truly believe I am a leader. I'm a leader. I come from my own creativity, my own experiences, my own professional bank of credentials as well. And so if you, like me, are here to lead unapologetically from your desires, and this is when I say things like this, or lead from your desires, it means you trust your fucking self. You trust your inner wisdom. And here's the thing about getting older is you have more fucking inner wisdom than a 20-year-old. You have way more wisdom than a 20-year-old. This is not a competition. It's facts. We have way more wisdom, especially if you've learned your lessons along the way. And if you're here to show up in your dangerous audacity, and when I say dangerous audacity, this is rock solid self-belief. You can't do anything in life if you don't fucking believe in yourself. Self-belief sits in the family of self-trust, self-respect. All of those sit in a beautiful little family. Do you know what they give you? Rock fucking solid self-worth. No fucker can mess around with a woman who knows her worth. No one. That's a successful woman for me. Like, boom. Someone who knows her self-worth. Someone who has clawed their way out of adversity to get there, even better. I'm like, yeah, I want to know you. So where was I? Hang on a minute. Oh, yeah. And of course, if you want to conjure in scandalous wealth, I love that term, scandalous wealth, came up with it myself, then you must fuck all this fucking bullshit too. You've got to fuck it all. You've got to come back to you. You've got to lead the charge on your own life, your business, your money. And I've been learning this and extracting myself for many years. And there is a daringness to show up as yourself. And you're not going to get that straight away. And especially if you are, an online entrepreneur. And I feel a real resonance with online entrepreneurs because you kind of know the deal, you know what's going on, you know what it takes to roll that business out, or any entrepreneur. It's to show up as yourself. You influence that business. The more authentic, the more aligned you are with yourself, your business is going to fucking flourish. And in that, we all need, especially women, we need to relinquish the need for external approval. And I was talking about this more on After Hours, my private podcast, what was I talking about? Hang on, give me a second. Relinquish the need for external approval. Why was I saying that? I was relinquishing the need for external approval. Oh, yeah. Yes. Because as we have a new idea, new ideas are prone to seeds of self-doubt. And so in the I Ching, it teaches, I'm a student of the I Ching, it teaches us to learn to neutralize self-doubt, not to plaster it over with positivity, oh, everything's going to be okay. But no, we need to look at the self-doubt, understand why it's there, and then neutralize it and just allow self-doubt to be neutral without shifting into another gear. Honestly, again, the alchemy of fucking change. This is what I'm talking about changing, rewiring your neural pathways. And I know this work inside out because I do it with myself every single fucking day. So again, so on After Hours, I was talking about that a lot around. I am very private when I have a new idea, and I've got to keep it to myself until the self-doubt is neutral, until I move into self-belief. And that's a process in itself. You must be able to stand behind your opinions. You've got to be able to stand behind them, because I tell you what, there's some fucker out there that just cannot wait to pull your opinions apart, but you need to be able to stand behind them. You need to make decisions that survive disapproval. Jesus. Been doing that for all of my life. I'm better at handling the disapproval. I got really defensive in my earlier years. Now in my older years, I am able to see my defensiveness and navigate it and alchemize my way through it. And you have to, oh my God, please create a life way beyond just being useful and needed. Create a life that fucking lights the fire up in you, that fans the flames of your desires. And side note as well, with those flames is sometimes they're low, sometimes they're high, and sometimes they're in between. And you need to be able to have the capacity to roll with it all. I'm just thinking, is there anything else that I want to add into this? I mentioned flaunt right at the beginning. Let's bookend it. Flaunt is coming. So as I already said at the beginning, it's a high velocity intensive. I'm laughing to myself because it's an intensive. Like, we are going to go in, we're going to shift how you show up for yourself on the daily. I want to actually, no, I'm not going to talk about flaunt. I'm going to slide into how I work with my private clientele. I shifted that at the beginning of the year. So as I started to open my books and work with my clients, private clients, what I realized is that if I'm only seeing my private clients once a week, I'm like, I've got no idea what they're doing for the rest of the week. I've got no idea what they're doing. And how can a 1 hour a week elicit deep change? And I'm in the business of deep alchemical change. I'm not in the business of therapy or coaching. I'm in the business of deep fucking alchemical change. So everything I do now is high touch. It's like I am invested almost daily in the process. And especially with my private clientele, is that when I work with them, I see them for a call where we see each other, but they have access to me via an app every single day. And what I've learned by trialing this year is that's how they change, because I'm listening to them in real time and shifting them slightly every single day to do things differently, to think about things differently, to reflect differently, to integrate. And the clients I work with this year have got stupendous, I don't know where that word came from, success with what they wanted to achieve with me, which always women want more. They want more than they have. And I completely get it. You know, if you're living a vanilla kind of cookie cutter life that kind of everyone else has told you is a version of success, and you're a wild one like me, yeah, the wild part cannot be tamed. She cannot be shut up. She will be in there wanting to be let out, and she will want to influence and I want to say infiltrate your life in good ways. In good ways. This is why, again, you have to do the work with your wounded parts, because they can come out and then you think that's your wildness. No, it's not. It's your wounded parts. So anyway, I'm going off at a track. I have loved this conversation. If I was listening, I'd be like, this is a fucking good podcast. I would love to see you on Flaunt. I think I'm going to open up pre-sale between the 21st and the 25th of August. And as I said, waitlist is in the show notes. My after hours is in the show notes too, so you can go and watch that. And I need to go and kick myself up the arse and see if I can do a YouTube episode as well in the next couple of days. Until next time. What was I going to say? What's my closeout? If you dare, I'm going to change my closeout. Wait a minute. Because my old closeout is, if you dare to let your desires lead the way, I'll meet you there. I like that. Or we could say, what did I put on my website? Because I updated that yesterday. I said, oh, your most dangerous era starts here. Fuck yes. Till next time.